So the first step to get the update over the air is to get your bike connected to Wi-Fi. And if you don't have a strong Wi-Fi connection in your garage where your bike is, you may opt to use a hotspot on your phone. But one tip before starting this update, if you have CarPlay open, you may want to turn that off throughout this update process. Otherwise, I think it's going to get in the way potentially of the hotspot feature on your phone. Technically, your bike will still be able to access your hotspot, but sometimes the iPhone takes its Wi-Fi connection and uses it for CarPlay. Now, it should be a hidden network, but not always. So you may not get the hotspot feature to work if you've got CarPlay running. A quick, easy way to disable CarPlay is to go to Settings on your iPhone. Go down to General, and then from there down to CarPlay. Pick your bike, and then you can actually turn CarPlay off at the top. So if you tap that, it will go off, and you can see CarPlay is now off on the bike. So if you do not have good Wi-Fi coverage in your garage, but maybe you have decent cellular service, well, let's hope so. You can go to Settings on your iPhone and then go to Personal Hotspot. You can turn that on. You can also set a password, and it will start sharing your phone as a Wi-Fi network. It'll then use your cellular data to provide the internet connection. So if you have good cellular connection but no Wi-Fi, this is a good option. Now down below, it'll tell you what to look for your network name. On an Android phone, you'll go to Settings, and then you can just search for Hotspot. That'll take you to Hotspot and Tethering. Tap on that, and then go down to Hotspot and Tethering. It's currently off. So we'll tap on that, and we have the option to turn it on. To set the password, you actually tap on that network, and then you can see your hotspot name and your hotspot password where you can set one up. You may also want to disconnect any headsets. So while the bike reboots after the update, we don't have to wait for headsets to connect. So in this case, I'm using my Madehawk adapter. And so I'm just going to remove that for this update. If you have another headset option, just remove it or turn it off. This is optional, but I think it's a good idea. To connect our bike to Wi-Fi, we'll start with the menu button. We'll go up to the gear for Settings, and then we'll go down to Wi-Fi. From there, you'll turn Wi-Fi on if it's currently off, and it'll discover the available networks. Just give it a minute. And here we go. So we can see my iPhone is an available network to choose from. So I'll pick that, and then you'll need to enter your password. You'll have to touch the screen to do this. We'll tap the Enter, and it is now connected to that network. And it's going to warn you that you're allowing live info. So we'll proceed. And then you must agree to these terms for Wi-Fi to connect. If you disagree, the Wi-Fi will not connect for you. And it says, by agreeing, you would like to enable features like live traffic and weather. Well, that's okay. We're using it for an update, but that's okay. So we'll say yes. And so now the bike will indicate that it's connected on a secured network, and we have the Wi-Fi icon down below. And in theory, the update will automatically start to download. Now, if your bike does not see the hotspot on your phone, go into your phone and turn it off and turn it back on. And I bet it will appear. This is a common bug with the current version of the operating system, 4125D. So we're expecting this issue to be fixed with this update. We sure could use it now. If your home network doesn't show up, remember it needs to be a 5 gigahertz band network, and many older routers are only 2.4 gigahertz. Your network must have a password on it. So if you have an open network, the bike won't connect to it. Now, if the Wi-Fi option is grayed out and you can't tap on it at all, the issue may be with your 4125D update, because several people ran into an issue of Wi-Fi and GPS being disabled with 4125. And the issue turned out to be a VIN error. So if you have an aftermarket ECM, so an Impact or a ThunderMax, you may have run into this. So the infotainment system checks with the ECM to verify the VIN, and the ECM didn't respond, and it disables the Wi-Fi module and the GPS module. So if this is the case with your bike, you may try the USB version of this new 5057D update because it supposedly fixes the VIN error. But I have no idea if you already have a disabled Wi-Fi module, applying the update manually will fix it. I really don't know. Hopefully some of you will find out and put it in the comments for us. But I do recommend if you have an aftermarket ECM, it would be a great idea to check with them before applying this update. Before you start this update, make sure your bike is plugged into a tender. And on a 2023.5, you cannot use a tender in accessory mode. So you need to have a tender plugged into your battery directly, or in my case, I'm using the starter motor. This is not an issue with the 2024 or newer model, only the 23.5s. Well, it's 4 o'clock Mountain Time, and I don't know about you, but I've been trying to get the update all day. But now I'm getting error loading document on the page. Has the update been released? Let's go see. The update will download as long as the bike has an internet connection, even while you're riding it. But the update will not install unless you have the bike in accessory mode. So make sure you have the bike off and then hold down your trip switch button until you see the screen start to boot. No update found. I guess we'll try again later. After several attempts of trying to get the update to show up over the air, Harley Davidson posted that there was a server outage. And as of today, the 17th, happy St. Patrick's Day, the update is now back online as of noon Central Standard Time. And here we go. A new software available for download, start or delay. So again, if you delay this, you'll continue to see the prompt every time the bike connects to Wi-Fi. So we're on a reliable Wi-Fi connection, and we have our bike on a tender. Let's hit start. Download has started. Now they note you can turn the bike off and turn it back on, and it'll pick up where it left off. So as you're riding around, it'll continue to try to download in the background. And we're watching this indicator here for when the download will be complete. While we're waiting, let's see if we can get an idea of the progress. So if I go back to System and then down to Software Update, let's see what we see. There it is. So now we have a progress bar of 9% complete. A good way to watch the progress. 5 minutes and we're at 49%. 9 minutes at 92% complete. Just under 10 minutes and we're 100% complete. And it says, would you like to install the update? When the update starts, do not turn off the bike. So make sure you have it on a tender. Here we go. System is about to restart. About halfway. Software update is complete. It's been updated to 5057D and it's restarting. So we have a ride mode error, which is known to be an issue with these updates. A power cycle is to fix it. Network is reconnecting. My phone is connected. We still have the bell icon over here. Let's see what that's about. Some are also reporting a yellow triangle warning light down here. That is also to clear. We have confirmation that our update is complete and the little bell has gone away. So now if we go to the gear, go down to System, we'll go down to System Information, Product Information, and we can see we are now on 5057D. The other question that has come up is what about the amp version? So if we go back to menu, we can go to sound, and then we'll go down to speaker setup, and it notes that we'll lose audio. And there's our amplifier. We'll show info. This one, you still have to tap on it. And there it is, 1610. Now I had this installed already, and I am hearing that this update also applies the amplifier. The current version as of this date is 1610. If we go look at the speaker config, we can see that it's only detecting my fairing and my saddlebag. But if you have the lowers or the tour pack, those should appear in these columns now. You'll have to let me know. So I can confirm that the system doesn't boot any faster. It boots about 24 seconds to the main screen and then about 40 seconds for CarPlay, which is the exact same readings I got before this update. So I think what we're feeling is more a placebo effect than actual reality. It's not booting any faster. And during my testing here, CarPlay actually didn't start one of the few attempts. Now I can confirm that the Android Auto boxes and the Mate-Hawk adapters are still working. My Anunce Z3 with the Mate-Hawk and Android Auto on the screen. Links in the description if you want to check it out. And while we're talking about Android Auto on these new Harley-Davidson touring models, unfortunately this update did not give us Android Auto. So you still need to use an adapter box. And many of you have been asking me, what are you recommending for 2026? Well, I am testing a few new devices. This is the Anunce Z4, the replacement for the Z3. It has a few advantages and a few disadvantages, but more information coming here soon, so stay tuned. Some have reported that there's an improvement with connectivity to the hotspot feature on your phone. Well, after a reboot, I can confirm it's showing connected to my phone all by itself. Now, there's no noted improvements to the embedded navigation, but they do call out GPS improvements. And I will say the embedded navigation feels snappier to me, but that also may be a placebo effect. But it is cool to see the current traffic conditions. If the bike continues to connect to the hotspot feature on my phone to provide that traffic and weather, I may end up using the embedded navigation. Of course, we don't know what the subscription fee is going to be. We're going to find out soon because us 23.5 owners are coming up on that 3-year mark. We do still have a few gremlins. So notice my headset is grayed out. It is not showing connected. But if I go up to Device Manager, my headset is showing connected as ride or roll, and my iPhone shows CarPlay. So even though it says I don't have a headset connected, I got CarPlay. Another lingering issue has been the navigation prompts. They're really hard to hear if you have music playing.
You will arrive at your destination at 2:39 p.m.
How about with a headset?
You will arrive at your destination at 2:43 p.m.
I don't know, seems to be working. The other notable fix with this update is to be with the battery drain that can be caused by the infotainment system when the bike is off. So do we have that resolved? Well, some more testing before we'll know, but I'm really hoping so because it's been a big concern of leaving these bikes outside the hotel room and hoping it starts the next morning. I did notice that the Harley-Davidson app is updated, so it includes a software update, and it's showing my bike is already updated. But also notice it's showing the amplifier version. That's pretty cool. Now if they would just add in the ECM and BCM version, we'd be set. We got several bug fixes with this update, and those fixes are welcome. So should you install this update? Well, I would say it's still early, and sometimes we find out information a little later. So you may want to wait, but if you're suffering with one of these issues, you for sure should apply this update. And you can see for me, once the update was live, it went really well. It was very smooth install. Now, if you're using the USB process, we still have some of the same issues as we did with the 4125D. And on the support website, which I'll put a link to in the description of this video, they cover the errors you may run into and what you should do. So this website is pretty valuable for the USB practices. And one of the most common issues we're seeing is software version is incompatible or unknown. And if you have this, it implies that your 2237D never successfully installed, and you're going to need to download that and reinstall that first before proceeding with any further updates. We've seen this often. Another common issue is booting the bike with the thumb drive already inserted. So boot your bike all the way to the home screen before you insert the thumb drive to start the update. I would love to hear what your experience has been and what you're finding with your update. Put it in the comments. If you're really struggling to get the update to install, reach out to me. I'll put my email address right here. You're welcome to reach out. I'll do my best to give you a hand. I really appreciate all of the recent support of the channel. All of you new subscribers, welcome. And if you're not subscribed, I'd really love to have you join. My hope is to grow this channel so I have more influence with Harley Davidson especially. But you'll always know that I'll keep you up to date with what's going on with these new era touring models. But some of you have asked, is there another way to support the channel? Well, in the bottom of the video, there's a super thanks icon. You're welcome to contribute there. But to make it a little easier, I have set up a website where you can buy me a coffee. So buymeacoffee.com/ITFzone. Any donations to the channel are most welcome. Thank you so much. I really hope you found this information useful, and if you did, go share it with someone else. But until next time, in the friction zone.